It's the Riot Podcast, the Thursday, November 2nd edition. Today in the show, we will get to a mom fighting her son's ex-girlfriend in like a real fight.
An MMA cage match.
Yeah, like a serious fight. How would you feel?
We also talk about Marvel's new plan to save the franchise.
Oh, it's a bright one.
They may be bringing back your favorite dead characters.
Yeah, I don't know how they devised this, but you get to hear what we think and to see. Maybe you can let us know what you think as well at 8772 RadioU. Finally, we find out about a name that's banned in Spain, even if you're a Duke. And that's the show.
And we'll catch you guys soon.
Catch you next time.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The Worst of the Riot, RadioU.
Isaiah, I heard JR talking about this on his show at night here on RadioU. Did you know in Spain, I love that they do this, that they still have dukes. You don't think about, like, I kind of wish we still had dukes. I guess we never had dukes.
We've never had a duke or a duchess.
No,
I believe it's the other way. Yeah.
But it's cool. It would be cool to be, if I could pick like a title, if I could be Duke Hudson, Archduke of whatever, of RadioU, that'd be cool, right?
Yeah, that would be a cool name.
So in Spain, they have dukes. And one of the dukes just recently had a baby. Very exciting. He and the Duchess. And they gave their baby a name. After they gave their baby the name, they come to find out that the name is illegal and they're not allowed to name the baby the name they gave it. So I know what you're thinking. What's the name? Can I even say it on the radio?
Yeah, can you say it?
Yeah, get ready. The name that was illegal: Sofia, Fernanda, Dolores, Cayetana, Teresa, Angela, De La Cruz, Michaela, Del Santissimo, Sacramento, Del Perpetuo, Socorro, De La Santísima, Trinidad, y de todos los santos. And now I know what you're thinking. What was illegal about that name?
It's too long, obviously. It's a waste of everybody's time.
You nailed it. Figured it out.
I mean, it's
right
17 words.
It's 25 words. So
they couldn't pick one?
They couldn't narrow it down.
So they just said, you know what? We'll just name her all the names we came up with.
Yeah. They went to the grocery
list.
aisle. They said, how can I decide what kind of noodles to get? Let me just slide the whole shelf into my cart.
They asked everyone they know to give them a name.
Yeah.
And then they used every single one of them.
They didn't want anybody to feel bad. We don't want Grandma to feel left out. She suggested...
Santissimo.
Yeah, De La Santissimo. We can't leave that out, but we also can't leave out Aunt Shelley, who suggested Michaela, so I guess we'll just put them all in. Yeah, too long. Too long of a name. What do you sometimes you wonder, what are you setting the child up for?
Failure.
Yeah, what is that child?
But if you're a Duke, I guess your kid's probably pretty set.
Yeah, you'd think, right? I don't know. If you're like a Duke and you're not a Duke in England, you're a Duke in Spain, and you're not even like a well-known Duke, maybe there's not that much money in being a Duke.
How long is too long for a name?
I don't know. Do you know anybody that has more than first, second, third, like more names than that?
Well, you think about, there's people that have like 2 middle names.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I think I might know somebody that maybe had 3.
Really?
That might be the most. Like 3 middle names, so like 5 total.
I've never seen something like that before.
Yeah, I think that's the most. That feels like definitely a top limit. If you have 5 names in total, that feels like anything else other than that is really superfluous and unnecessary.
Yeah, that seems like a lot.
Well,
because you think about, too, you're only going by one name. No one's calling you more than one thing.
Yeah. What would they say to this girl when she's in trouble? By the time they finally spit all this out, she would forget what she was even in trouble for.
She would have all these names, and she would go by a nickname.
Yeah.
They would be like,
one not even on the list.
they wouldn't even really be any of these. That's what would happen.
Yeah. Now we know. 25 words is definitely, that's over the limit.
Couple too many.
In Spain, even if you're a Duke.
Add a little riot to your Instagram feed. Follow at RadioU Official. The Riot. Radio U.
We're in the midst of useless knowledge. Today's theme is all about veganism. Isaiah has your question.
Today is World Vegan Day. Actually, I think it was yesterday. It's one of these days. Right around this
Can
time
we
is
even
World
be
Vegan
sure?
Day.
No one's going to fact check you.
You can celebrate it every day. Which former president adopted a vegan diet?
Former.
Yes, it is a former president.
I think that it must not be somebody obvious or probably also recent, or else we would know. I think we would know if Donald Trump or Barack Obama was vegan at one point.
A lot of people texted in Obama.
Yeah. But I think that's too, we would know. We would just know. That'd be something we would know. So I am going to say Grover Cleveland.
What a name. But not the correct answer. This one was texted in by Jonathan and many others. Jonathan says, I want to say Bill Clinton, which is correct.
Well
Bill
done.
Clinton adopted a vegan diet for a while.
Well, send your prize in the mail.
Let's get some rapid fire going. Which young music superstar is an outspoken vegan? She sings songs like Oceanized and Lonely.
Demi Lovato.
I was looking for Billie Eilish. What about
You didn't pick her obvious ones, did you?
I didn't. What about a famed boxer who follows a vegan diet?
Deontay Wilder.
I was looking for Mike Tyson.
Ooh.
Vegans claim the world's oceans could virtually be emptied for fish by what year? If we keep up like we have been.
Yeah. 2055.
2048.
Uh-oh.
The oceans could be empty.
Coming up soon.
4% of the U.S. Americans identify as a vegetarian. What percent identify as a vegan?
0.8.
You were very close. And it very well could be right. It tells me here it is 1%.
Okay.
So maybe they
if
rounded
I
up.
round up, yeah.
1% of Americans are vegan.
1 in 100.
Feels like I meet them all the time, though.
No, well.
Feels like they're just
people that-
running around rampant.
People that aren't vegans don't talk about it all the time.
No, that's the truth.
2048, huh? All the fish will be gone.
That's what they say.
Makes sense, because I went to the beach like a month ago. I didn't see a single
didn't see any
fish.
fish?
Yeah.
Didn't they say like we haven't searched like the majority of the ocean?
They also, yeah.
We gotta
But
find them fish.
Do you want to eat those ones from the deep sea, though?
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on Radio U.
Everybody else is so uninterested. And Isaiah is here to claim that people just don't know about space. Even what we think we know, we don't know. And so, no, go ahead.
I found the survey yesterday
Yeah.
that states this very thing. That people like space and they're fascinated by it, but even some of the most basic space facts people don't have down. So I'm here to see if you would consider yourself a basic space aficionado
Yeah. Oh, I'm a space head.
or maybe a little more advanced. So I've got some pretty easy space questions.
All right. Let's hear it.
Let's kick it off with this one. What planet
Uh-huh.
is the smallest planet? And obviously, we're not counting Pluto.
See, I was going to say, clearly it would be Pluto.
Because Pluto's not a planet.
Yeah, the great space debate of our time is Pluto a planet? And although that's one area where I must disagree with the scientists because I believe it is. But other than that, the smallest planet is Mercury.
That is correct.
Aha!
58% of U.S. Americans were aware that Mercury is the smallest planet.
Well, probably the other 42% said Pluto.
What about the number of planets in our solar system?
Yet again, this is a tricky question because it would be 9 if Pluto were rightly called a planet. However, it's not, so it's 8.
That is correct.
See, they don't call me a spacehead for nothing.
Next question. How would you describe the moon's shape?
Circular?
You and 84% of Americans unfortunately mistakenly believe that the moon is round when it's actually egg-shaped.
In which way does the egg face?
You got to think it's up and down, right? There's no way it's side to side.
What if it's like...
Or it spins?
What if like the more pointier egg, shape of the egg is facing away? There has to be that, right? It's like on its side.
Pointing at us and away from us?
It has to be.
Causing an optical illusion.
I don't know, yeah. Yeah, because it always looks round.
It does. But it's so far away, how can you tell what's round, you know?
Yeah, I guess so, But, you know, that this just further proves my point of why we need to go to the moon. Why we need to keep exploring it. And
I agree.
Educating.
Put me on the moon. Somebody needs to go there. How about this one?
We haven't even taken a picture that showcases its egg-shaped nature.
We haven't even taken a picture yet on the moon that I believe.
Yeah.
How about this one? How many times a year does Earth orbit the sun?
That's a trick question. It's one, right? That's how we know when it's been a year, right?
But 31% of Americans think the Earth orbits the sun 365 times a year.
Yeah. See, the work of a spacehead is never done.
Some other good fun ones. 50% of Americans didn't know that the moon orbits the Earth.
What is this, the Middle Ages?
Also, 12%, this is one of my favorite ones, thought the moon emits light.
That's elementary.
When it's obviously just the
elementary school.
The sun.
Yeah, it's
reflecting.
Yeah.
So hopefully if you're sitting in your car right now, you got all those right. Or even some of them right. If you got none of them right, you shouldn't care about space.
One out of 6 people, 1 out of every 6 people that knows the moon is egg-shaped, apparently.
You know, there's someone sitting in their car that was like, it's egg-shaped. I knew that.
Yeah. Pat yourself on the back.
We're not sure who behaves worse, the Riot or their dogs.
I don't even know how to behave like a real human being.
The Riot, RadioU.
Some more tech news. This is big news for cheaters. Google has launched some new features that make it a whole lot easier to cheat on math, geometry, and even physics questions. It's now possible in Google to type in a potentially complicated math equation into the search bar, and it will be able to provide you with the answer to that. But it goes even further. Check this out. You lens your homework if you've got like a big something that maybe couldn't be typed in easily. You can use Google Lens, and it will provide you a step-by-step explanation and solution to whatever it is, whatever this equation is that you need solved. They also found that this works. The new tools will work even with word problems. So it's not just, algebra or whatever. You type in word problems, which previously they say has been particularly complicated, difficult for, search engines to figure out. But now with the large language models, easy as pie. It's way easier now to cheat at your homework.
Which I think for many students is exciting.
It is.
I don't know how I feel about cheating. Homework-wise.
With this?
Just in general. I have such a mixed feelings about it. Because in my mind, I know that I was in school a while ago.
Yeah.
But I have not reached the level yet where I'm like, you shouldn't cheat. Because everyone cheats.
Yeah. I just don't know where you draw the line when it comes to like, particularly math-related things. If you get to the right answer, whether you do it in your mind, whether you do it on paper, whether you use a calculator, whether you type it into Google, there's one right answer, and if you get it, does it really matter how you get it?
Because they want you to understand why, like how to get it.
Yeah.
And why that's the right answer.
Some people say we talked about this earlier this week of why do they make you write out questions and show your work and stuff. Some people say that's because it's showing you problem solving. Well, I think I'm solving the problem by typing it into Google and getting the answer.
They want to show that you know how you got there.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I'm just like, it's such a hard question obviously cheating is wrong in school.
But who makes the rules of if this is cheating?
And when is cheating gone too far?
Yeah. Well, because
if you're the person who says, I never cheated in school, like, congratulations on your success.
Yeah.
Your next door neighbor that you're working with right now, if you're a doctor and you're getting ready to do a surgery, the nurse that's handing you the tools could very well have cheated her way through all the way through college. And the doctor that comes in the room after you could have very well cheated his way all the way through college. And guess what? Everybody's doing just fine.
We've, there's doctors will admit this, right? That they, like, before surgeries or, like, for various things, they'll look up stuff because you don't have it all memorized. Is that cheating? But all that said, let me look at the flip side of this.
Flip it. Yes.
Yeah. Let's play that this is wrong to do this.
Devil's advocate. I like it.
And I guess this doesn't really say that it's wrong, but what if Google gets it wrong? And you don't know enough to know that Google got it wrong. And so you just put some whatever Google tells you to put. That's a foible, you could say.
And now your incision in my brain.
Yeah.
You killed me.
Right. Yeah.
I'm gone.
You can't always trust it. But can you trust it more than you trust yourself in certain instances?
Good question.
I think it's all debatable. I guess it's good to have this as a tool in your toolbox.
I'm never going to say that you can't use this.
If you're teaching math class.
If I was teaching math class, they wouldn't learn a thing.
The only thing Isaiah loves more than the riot is himself.
Someone who probably still lives with his mother and hates himself.
You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
Text in your thoughts on this. Things are going, I think what people would agree, by and large, not well at Marvel. Not as well as it used to be, which is a high bar. But the Marvel Cinematic Universe, obviously, at its height, you're talking Avengers, Endgame, an unstoppable force. It felt like nothing could take it down. And then since then, it's been taken down. But according to a new report from Variety, things now have gotten so bad at Marvel as they anticipate the release of the movie The Marvels, which is tracking to underperform big time at the box office. Things are getting so bad that they are considering some drastic options. Obviously, no surprise that they're working through the ideas of what they could do to get rid of Jonathan Majors, as he's a very controversial figure at the moment with his domestic violence incidents going on, as Kang the Conqueror, who they built this entire phase around. That's a possibility, but even more wild is that they may try to bring back the original Avengers just to try to add some juice back in to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Is that concerning? If they did that, would that be problematic to you? What are your thoughts?
Problematic, right off the rip.
And
as I'm reading here, the two they would consider We've got. I'm just saying, if you haven't finished through all of the Marvel movies yet,
Yeah.
maybe paused for a second because I'm about to do some spoilers. If you haven't finished the Phase 1 and Phase 2 and Phase 3, all those ones, get ready.
The movies that came out like 3, 4, 5 years
exactly.
ago at this point.
If you were planning on watching them, step aside. RDJ, Iron Man, they're considering bringing back.
Mm-hmm.
Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow, they're considering bringing back.
Mm-hmm.
They're not considering Chris Evans, who plays Captain America, as he has moved on to other projects, apparently, since 2019's Avengers Endgame. You cannot bring back Iron Man and Black Widow, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because you killed them off in such epic ways.
Yeah, it would feel like, you know what? I think if they did that, it would feel like a pretty big slap in the face to everybody. Because you would just be showing that what you get so emotionally attached, and then when the characters die, it actually means something. But if when they die, it doesn't mean anything anymore,
a thing.
You're going to make everybody already isn't very attached to the characters you're popping out now because we don't have as much history with them and whatever. I can't, can I really explain why we don't feel as attached to Captain Marvel as some of the other characters? Maybe just because her movie wasn't as good, but
we just need more time. We need more. We just got to give it time.
Mm-hmm.
Like when the first 2 Thor movies came out, those are not great Marvel movies.
And if you killed Thor in the second movie, it wouldn't have felt as good.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have
felt as right.
Yeah, that's right.
Like it would now. If you kill Thor now, that would be a big deal. Heartbreak.
Yeah.
You kill him after the first 2 movies, everyone's like, well, I wasn't really all about Thor anyway.
Yeah.
We didn't start to love him until like Ragnarok in the later movies.
Mm-hmm.
So we just got to give it time.
Yeah. I think, yeah, but yeah, you start bringing back characters from the dead, which I guess they're already doing with Wolverine, Hugh Jackman. And the multiverse gives them license to be able to do that in a way that makes sense, even in a whole world that doesn't make any sense. But you just can't kick everybody's legs out from under them and be like, yeah, remember how sad you were when Iron Man died? That doesn't actually matter at all.
Here he is.
Yeah.
We brought him back, and I love Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love more Iron Man, but it just doesn't feel right to bring him back.
Yeah, the truth is, you got to make you just got to stop worrying about bringing back in old characters and make the characters you have make the movies better. They've just not been good.
They just got to get the storylines down. Nobody knows what the storyline is yet because we haven't seen enough of Kang. If he's going to be the villain, we haven't seen enough of him yet.
Too complicated, not good enough. It's just that simple.
Add a little riot to your Instagram feed. Follow @RadioU Official. The Riot. Radio U.
If I asked you, what does Jim the dog's paws smell like? You have an easy answer?
Bad.
But
that is just his overall aura of stink that my dog has.
Uh-huh.
He doesn't have, I know a lot of people say that their dog's paws smell like Fritos.
Yes.
The Frito paw.
That's what I was getting at.
People say that Jim's do not smell like Fritos.
I have often thought this as well. I guess it's a well-known thing. The dogs, their paws, many of them, smell like Fritos. And it's odd. I was just thinking that if you smell a dog's paws, you go, that smells like Fritos. But if you smell Fritos, you don't go, this smells like my dog's paws. Yeah. I don't know why it works that way.
And then you toss them in your mouth.
Yeah, that's right. But apparently, some people do not like the smell of their dog's paws, so much so that they want to change the smell of their dog's paws. And I have here a doctor of veterinary medicine, Amy Stone at University of Florida's College of Veterinary Medicine. She says, don't try to change the smell of your dog's paws. So even if Jim the dog don't smell like Fritos, apparently you're not supposed to try to change if that's what they smell like anyways. You're not supposed to try to change the smell of your dog's paws, no matter how much you dislike it.
I assume it's just like a natural thing.
Because think about it, right? Dogs, smell is such a huge thing for them. So if you start changing how they smell, that can really bother them. And so the Frito smell of their paws is what they are used to for whatever. I mean, that's what they're supposed to smell like. That's normal. And so if you start making a dog smell the way that it's not normally supposed to smell, that's going to mess with their minds.
Interesting, because because Jim yet again stinks.
Yeah.
He's a bastard down. They just smell bad. And I use like a puppy cologne on Jim
Oh, yeah.
that I spray all over him. He does not like it. He runs from the can. And it makes him smell better. So I wonder if that just messes with him.
Yeah. Well,
when he's running around smelling all fresh.
Yeah. Yeah, if it actually has like a scent to it.
It does.
Because they recommend some vets here. It doesn't mean you can't clean your dog, of course. But they recommend using either unscented wipes or soaps that are specifically meant for dogs to clean them, but not necessarily alter what they naturally smell like.
Interesting.
So who knows the damage you're doing to Jim the dog with your doggy cologne.
It's built I buy it for dogs. And so if they say on the can, you can spray this on a dog, I can spray this on Jim.
Do you believe everything you read on a can?
If they say I can do it to Jim, I can do it to Jim. That dog, he's fine.
I don't know. It makes you wonder how many of Jim's issues have you caused?
That's impossible.
You just never know.
Well, if I don't spray him with that can, the biggest issue will be my house smelling like him. And that is a large issue for me.
That's a bigger problem.
He would rather be an inside dog, I think, because if I can't spray him, he's an outside dog.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on Radio U.
Ooh, is it going to be a good one? Choice Champions, our Thursday tradition, where we have a topic assigned to us. We pick teams, snake draft style, 3 picks each. And you decide which of our teams is better and which picks got snubbed. Today's topic that we are drafting our Choice Champions teams from is kids' birthday party locations. What was the best kind of birthday party when you were a kid? You get ready to text in who you're voting for and which picks we missed at 8772 Radio U. Isaiah gets to go first today. You have the honor, Isaiah. Go ahead.
For my first overall choice, I am going to go with the sleepover birthday party.
Really, out of all the choices.
When I think back to my days as a child, there were a lot of fun birthday parties. But some of my favorite ones were when you did the sleepover, the flashlight tag. I can remember the ghost in the graveyard, all the games, and then watching like a scary movie at nighttime that I never wanted to watch.
Yeah.
Those were my favorites. And so I have to take sleepover at 1 if I'm being true to myself.
Sleepover, that's a good choice. For the second pick, I am going to go with the pool party.
Good choice.
Yeah, tough to go against the pool party. I feel like, for you, even now as an adult, you still spend a lot of time at the pool every weekend. So why, when you're a kid, I feel like the pool is even more special. You like the pool even more because it doesn't have to be deep or whatever. Like you just love swimming and playing sharks and minnows or whatever. So pool party definitely comes in for my top pick. I'm glad you didn't take it. And my next pick, it's tough because there's a lot of good options. I am going to go Chuck E. Cheese, Dave & Buster's style. Chuck E. Cheese when you're younger, maybe a little older. Dave & Buster's is a good choice. Or
the
things
arcade.
Like that. Yeah, that's fun. That's fun. Yeah, so that's going to be my second pick, although it's a close call.
I'm following that up with, and this one might be more obscure. I'm going the skating rink.
Ooh, ice or roller?
The roller, baby. The roller. In my small town, we had a skating rink, and those are still very memorable birthday parties to me. I used to do the skating rink every Friday night. I love the skating rink. There were some good birthday parties there. You get to skate. So I'll take the skating rink with my second pick.
Okay.
And then
you get one more.
My final choice. I'm going to go with a CC's / pizza party.
Ooh, that's its own location.
Mm-hmm. I went to a couple of those CC birthday parties where you get like buffet style pizza or just a pizza party in general.
Yeah.
That would be my third choice.
That's a good choice. I thought since we were doing like locations, I guess pizza, like Pizza Hut or CC's, that is a location.
Back when they had pizza buffets.
Yeah. That's a good call. That's a good call. I am going to, with my final pick to round it out, go ahead and give me, and this is tough, give me the movies.
The movies, okay, I consider the movies.
Yeah, although if I'm being honest, I don't know if I ever went to a movie birthday party when I was a child, but the idea of just like you and all your friends and you do like some birthday stuff and then you watch,
go to the movies.
Yeah, and then you watch Shrek and you're all laughing.
Yes.
Like, yeah, that's.
I remember I went to a movie birthday party. I went to CC's. It was a double. I went to CC's first, and then we watched one of the Narnia movies at the movie theater. I was in like third grade,
Double
I think.
trouble. Actually, I did go to a movie birthday party. It was a combo pool and movie party, and we saw Toy Story 3.
Wow.
All right, recap quick. You had the first pick. You went with
Sleepovers, baby. Followed by the skating rink. Get your skate on. And then wrapped it up with a CC's / pizza party buffet.
I've got pool party. I've got the arcade, Chuck E. Cheese, Dave & Buster's, and then I've got the movies. Which of us has the better Choice Champions team of kids' birthday parties? 8772 RadioU. Cast your vote and let us know which ones we missed.
We're not sure who behaves worse, the Riot or their dogs.
I don't even know how to behave like a real human being.
The Riot, Radio U.
We're in the midst of Choice Champions. This week's topic is kids' birthday parties. What was the best kind of birthday party to go to when you were a kid? Isaiah, you had the first pick, and you went with
Sleepovers. Followed by the skating rink. And then wrapping it up with CC's / a pizza party.
Now, I went with pool party as my top pick, and I did arcade, Chuck E. Cheese, etc., and then the movie theater as choice number 3. The texts are coming in. Zach did not vote. However, he did say laser tag party was top tier. I loved laser tag. That is a good choice.
Yeah, laser tag is a cool place. I didn't get to go to many laser tag. I don't know if I went to any laser tag birthday parties, but that would be a good one.
Laser tag was fun. I'm trying to think. The place where I went to do laser tag when I was a kid, you didn't just get laser tag either. There was other games. I can't, for the life of me, remember what other games they had there.
Well, they had like a little arcade area always that you could go in and play.
I think there was like batting cages, like things of that nature. So that's a good call, though. I did strongly consider laser tag. Angelo simply says Team Hudson. Thank you, Angelo. Susanna. Close call with Chuck E. Cheese, but Isaiah wins in a landslide with the skating rink.
People love to skate, man.
I know you said roller skating, and I do like roller skating. And I like ice skating, too, but when I think of the ice skating parties I went to, so cold. It's so cold in there.
Yeah, I've never been to an ice skating party. Mine were all the roller rink.
Janae says Hudson, but the skating rink is an honorable mention. People really like the skating rink. And then let's see. We've got Regina, who's voting for you because she thinks yours were the ones she had or enjoyed attending. However, she always wanted a pool party, but her birthday's in February. So.
Everybody wants something they can't have with their birthday.
Yeah, that's right.
Like my birthday's in the summertime, mine's in July, and all I wanted was to be able to have my birthday during the school year because I wanted that recognition.
Yeah, that's right.
Even then, I wanted to be in the spotlight. I wanted
crown.
to be the line leader. It was ridiculous.
Justin voting for you and bowling parties.
I considered the bowling alley.
I thought about bowling too.
For me, and yet again in my hometown, the skating rink and bowling alley were in this little area, just the two of them in their own parking lot. It was skating rink, bowling alley, and the pool were all there. And sometimes you would do the skating rink. Sometimes there was the bowling alley. Sometimes there's a pool party, but they were all at that same location. And I went to a couple bowling. I used to go to the bowling alley all the time as a child.
Yeah. The bowling alley. Living in a small town, the bowling alley was the closest thing to do, and that was a big location. Plus, bowling alley almost always means pizza.
Yeah, it does.
They all have pizza. It's not very good, but they have it.
In our town, the bowling alley pizza was good. It was good.
The bowling alley was. I also strongly considered that. So, any others that narrowly missed for you?
One of the ones that I really wanted to do, but I didn't know how to word it to where it would be a location.
Yeah.
Was those birthday parties that you went to during the day where they had some sort of like blow up water slide. You know what I'm talking about? Where they had like the big blow up ones that people would blow. They would rent out, blow up in their backyard, and then you were just going down it for hours. With your friends. That one considered.
It is fun. Sometimes you're driving by and you see either those blow up slides or the bounce house.
Yes.
Which is another good choice. You can see, it's like, that must be their birthday.
I should have just picked blow. It would have been like a blow up party, I guess.
Blow up party, yeah.
And as a child, that was a fun time. Another one that I considered that I went to for one, this had to be an expensive one for the parents.
Yeah.
Was like any kind of like Sky Zone / trampoline park birthday party.
I never got to do one of those.
I got to go to one of those, but if you know that you're going to like an expensive birthday party when there's just like 2 other kids there, you're like one of the 3 best friends that got to go because it's $80 a kid to go and play in the Sky Zone or the trampoline park for like an hour.
Along those lines, and I never got to go one of these, but when I was researching, I saw this. I knew it's a thing. Build-A-Bear. That'd be pretty.
I never got to do that either.
Yeah, my friends weren't that rich or that into Build-A-Bears. But, well, we're looking at the results here. The selection committee has determined that although Isaiah has more votes, I have higher quality votes. And so at the top, like Notre Dame and Penn State are my best 2 votes. So I win yet
Gets
again.
me one again.
The only thing Isaiah loves more than the riot is himself.
Someone who probably still lives with his mother and hates himself.
You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
Imagine, put yourself in the shoes of this guy who he went through a bad breakup with a girlfriend, an ex-girlfriend now at this point. And it all led to this ex-girlfriend and the guy's mom actually having a real-life MMA cage fight. 50-year-old, hold on, let me try to pronounce this one. Malgorzata. We'll just go by her first name.
Mel.
I
think it's Mal, but
Mel. She's 50. She's the mom. She fought and defeated Gosia Magical in a cage fight, who is 19 years old. The mom defeated the ex-girlfriend. First of all, that's impressive. A 50-year-old knocking out a 19-year-old. But secondly, how would you feel if your ex-girlfriend and your mom were so at odds that they had a MMA cage fight?
She must have done him so dirty, you know?
Yeah.
Did she cheat on him? What happened here? How did it get to this? There's a big crowd, too. That's the surprising part.
Yeah.
Most fans were pulling, believe it or not, for the 19-year-old.
Yeah.
For the girlfriend.
The ex-girlfriend. Yeah, I don't know. There's got to be more of a backstory. It's all, this is in Poland. It's all like Polish stuff. So, and what I have here is really a breakdown of the fight, which is not what I want. I want to know why. I want to know why they hated each other so much they were fighting. But I just I get it, right? If this gal does you really dirty, and you maybe want some revenge, you cannot physically do that. Very wrong, obviously, as a man. But is it really vindicating if your mom, does that make you feel better if your mom knocks her out? That's, to me, I would feel embarrassed. You know what I'm saying?
You would feel embarrassed as to why?
I would feel embarrassed that this whole situation was going down and that my mom had to go out here and fight this battle for me.
Well, think about
I appreciate
this.
my mom's support, but not needed in this way.
Daniel, the boyfriend.
Yeah, we haven't even name checked him yet.
Yeah, known online as Daniel Magical.
What a name.
Rose to fame for the videos he shared on social media because he was a fighter as well. And then before the fight, most fans were pulling for his ex-girlfriend. And she had already had some fighting experience as well. And she's 30 years younger.
Yeah.
I think
still
this
got
is
rocked.
You got to think for the mom, this is a big win. You know?
When was the last time she was this proud, you think, of herself?
Like, when did she accomplish something like a knockout?
Yeah.
Last time she accomplished something so great that would make her feel so young. This would make you feel young again.
Yeah, so
Fighting a
vibrant.
19-year-old, knockout, boom. Still got it.
So if you ever go through a bad breakup, you want your mom and your ex to get in the ring?
I would say no.
Because your mom would lose or because it would be embarrassing?
I wouldn't. My mom's not really a fighter. I don't think it'd be a good idea for her. She's also a little lady.
Yeah.
I don't know what her odds would be in the ring, but I wouldn't want to see her get punched in the face either.
I don't know.
I think if my ex-girlfriend punched my mom in the face, I would just hate her more. There's no way you leave that arena with figuring anything out other than I hate you more now.
Yeah.
I always say you and your ex should end on good terms. These are the worst terms.
It doesn't get much worse than this.
That you can end on. You talk about getting anything back from your ex, ever ending on good terms. If her and your mom go in a bout in the ring for 3 rounds and they're punching each other in the face, there's no way you guys are going to like each other after that.
She's keeping your hoodie.
Yeah, you're not getting that back. I can tell you that much.
The only thing Isaiah loves more than the riot is himself.
Someone who probably still lives with his mother and hates himself.
You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
I heard our guy, Tyler, we call him Big Country, comes on after the riot. Talking about this yesterday, and let's all be mature and not get too political about it. But word has come out that President Joe Biden, he recently signed some executive order regarding artificial intelligence. And sources say that Joe Biden's concerns about artificial intelligence grew in part due to him watching the new Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning movie. I haven't seen it yet, but apparently it does revolve around, I guess, AI being used as a villain in the movie.
Similar to iRobot.
That's what Ty Guy was saying. Big Country. He was saying there's so many other movies prior to Mission Impossible that I guess maybe Joe Biden just had never seen. He hadn't seen Terminator or iRobot or many other artificial intelligence-based movies. But nevertheless, here's the actual question I wanted to ask you. Has there ever been a movie that you've watched or a TV show where it's just entertainment, but then again, it actually seriously changed your views on something in real life?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't know that I can think off the top of a dome a movie that's really changed the way I've acted.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's been scary movies I've seen that have made me afraid for a night or two. But to think that a movie could change how I act on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah.
I don't know that I've seen one.
You've never seen a movie that, like, made you reflect on the importance of family or, I don't know, being kind to others, anything like that, you know? Like, I feel like there's definitely movies that kind of have a moral, more of a moral thing, but less of of movies that I can think of that there was something I was not concerned about. And then I was like, well, you know, when you put it that way.
Well, you think about, like, the movie Yes Man with Jim Carrey. Like, are you saying yes enough, you know?
Yeah, sure.
There's one.
Did that really
Did that make me say yes more?
Yeah.
I can't be sure it did.
Actually, you know, I kind of thought along the lines of this movie. There's a movie called Ex Machina from years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Did you ever see it?
I don't know that I saw that one. I've seen the cover of it.
It was a good movie. Maybe that one made me think a little bit about, that was one of the movies that made me more concerned about, you know, robot, how we're using technology. There's lots of kids movies now where like robots are kind of the enemy, you know?
How about the movie, Jocelyn just texted this in, Eagle Eye. You ever seen that one?
Eagle Eye?
Yeah. That's a good movie.
Is that with Shia LaBeouf?
Yes.
I don't know if I ever watched it. But I know what
Two
you're talking about.
strangers whose lives are suddenly thrown into turmoil by a mysterious woman they have never met, threatening their lives and families. The unseen caller uses everyday technology to control their actions and push them into increasing danger. Another thing kind of like AI-esque.
Yeah. Here's one. Kids movie. Mitchell's Against the Machines. That was on Netflix. Good movie. That one is another one that, I don't think it changed my mind on social media or there's a lot of, a lot of it. It comes down to social media, AI, tech these days. So many movies that try to push you in one way or the other, usually against all these things, which I think is good. But I don't know if it's the movies themselves that are making me think that or if I actually think that and then I agree with the movies when I see them.
Yeah, lots of inspirational movies you can think of. That probably have inspired you for at least a day.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Here's Owen, Idiocracy. It predicted the mass adoption of Crocs, which they used because the director thought they were the dumbest looking shoes. So Owen, Idiocracy was on top of things. Okay, here's one. This is the last one I can come up with. Maybe the most serious that I don't know if it truly changed my mind on something. But at least it made me rethink things. And that's the movie Rear Window. That's a old Hitchcock movie about a guy who's he's holed up in his apartment because his leg is broken or whatever. And he's looking out, spying on the neighbors and making all these assumptions about the neighbors because he's seeing them from a distance, but not actually interacting with them, not actually seeing the full picture of what's going on. Maybe that's one. Makes you rethink. Do you need to, should you be spying? Should you be up in other people's business without them knowing? That kind of thing.
How about Ratatouille? Anyone can be a chef. That seems pretty good. You like that one?
Nailed it.
Find more Riot content online. Riot.radiou.com.